So riddle me this now. In a system where a cockroach doesn't need to go to therapy, his chakras are aligned to get all the food he needs. The birds don't go to therapy to deal with the fact that their mama or their papa threw them out of the um, nest to start flying. And they don't accuse their parents of child abuse. So in a system where planets don't bump into each other, somehow every single one of us um, is completely defective. We're all born to defective parents that set us up on a collision course with disaster by trying to keep us safe and to help us navigate the 3D reality, um, and ending up screwing up all our fuzziness, ruining our chakras, and making us unable to earn cash. So now, do tell me how, in a planet that everything else seems to be running so perfectly, how can us, its greatest creation, because to us came consciousness of self and so on, so that's why we are the greatest creation. I'm not claiming the, what are we, the top of the food chain or whatever it's called. So I'm not claiming that because, but still, we must have some sort of importance. And yet, industry after industry after industry, it's cashing in on our apparent defectiveness, like we should be all be sent back to the production line to be rebirthed, remade. And there is a big rebirthing industry too. Now do tell me, how does that make sense? Unless you look the right way at it and realize that the purpose of all of it is a retrocausality in action. Because the only wrong thing in this picture is what we're told we should be chasing. And because also, even the system of chakras, now do tell me why on earth we keep beating up a dead horse. Why we keep going the root chakra, the middle, the second chakra, the third chakra, whatever. Why don't we go to the seventh? The seventh, it's our crown chakra. It's the one that's linked and in contact with our source. For as long as we have breath in our body, it's proof that we are in contact with source. Source has chosen life to appear at the fertilization of the egg with the sperm that became me. Because not every time egg and sperm come together, life happens. As many know, because are childless, and no, life comes where consciousness decides. So the proof of that is breath. For as long as consciousness chooses, there is breath in the 3D dimensional body, and then it returns to itself. So you tell me, if we are even to muse on the chakra system that is so beaten up like a dead horse, why do we go backwards in it? Why do we go bottom, second, middle, blah, blah, blah? To really drum in the what is wrong, what is not functioning. So why can't we go straight to source, crown chakra, and let our connection just flow through? Because it's all a practice of imagination, this whole chakra business anyway. Visualize a golden, visualize a red, visualize blah blah, visualize blah blah. So we're all in a la la land of imagination anyway. So you tell me, why the hell should I keep going back to front where I could go the right way? Source, where I'm coming from, down, um, in a different priority. And if I go to source instead of to my base, to my most primal, most undeveloped part of my evolution, whatever, um, why shouldn't I go directly to source? I'm going to source. I'm gonna imagine that source pours through me all the flow of energy that is needed, and that everything flows exactly perfectly to its agenda. And its agenda is not the man-made agenda and the man-marketed agenda of money, 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 money making, money, 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 money making. Why should we make money? Where do you see a bird or a cockroach or a spider going to make money or earn its living, earn its keep? Since when am I less than them? Also, we understand the tree comes from the earth. The tree is part of nature. The bird is part of nature. The blah blah is part of nature. Where the fuck do you think we come from? How come we're somehow removed from nature? Where do we come from? What are we in the 3D? How are we not part of this ecosystem? So if I am to do anything with my centers of energy, I'm going source, crown chakra, and the right way down. And I know that I'm part of the ecosystem of the earth. I take my shoes off because I'm also a body of energy, and I ground myself by walking on earth, by making contact with that which is my solid foundation, which is earth, because I too am like the tree, like the bird, like the animal, a natural being. So, if we are to follow um, this method of thinking, I'm not at all defective. My priorities are better than the ones that are marketed. My spirit is trying to guide me to a life that is my natural state, where I don't look to make the middle man in between me and what I want and what I desire and what I need, but I focus directly on it and not put static and interference with all this bullshit. How about that? How about nothing? Nothing is wrong with anything in my system. It's just all screaming at me, wrong way, go back. You're looking at it wrong. You're trying to manifest something you don't actually need. There is a better way. There is an easier way. You're part of the whole of creation. Before the body, with the body, and after the body. So, no part of us is defective. No part of us needs. But with this, what would I sell you? Oh, please subscribe and like. If by now you don't know how what you call it, YouTube works, then don't bother. If you want to subscribe, you subscribe. If you don't, you don't. If you like, you like. You don't, you don't. with this theory of mine, I've got nothing to sell you other than, dude, you're God. You're God. You're part of all there is, because God is all there is. You're a facet of all there is. Go ground up. Take the rubber of the soles of your shoes off. Rubber stops energy. As you know, when you play with electricity, you need rubber gloves and rubber shoes so you don't get electrocuted. Because you are an energetic being. Go ground. If babies are crying, if babies are carrying on, get out of the concrete house, get out of the plastic shoes and the plastic fabric on your body. Go ground, because you're part of the earth as well. For as long as you're in the 3D with breath in your body, you're part of the 3D and the earth. Ground, understand all is right, understand there is nothing to buy, and you couldn't possibly want anything, and you're not defective at all. But if everyone was selling this, they wouldn't make money. They don't have to. They don't have to. Money doesn't need to be made because it buys nothing. It buys nothingness, more exactly.